Hey, it's Matt from Tradesman Digital Marketing. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through the different types of campaigns inside Google Ads and essentially what they do, what I think you should go with, and the ones I see the best results with. So to start off, how do we get to campaigns? We're going to come into new campaign. We're going to hit critical without a guidance right now. You can select leads or sales or whatever you want if you're going to make a campaign, but this is just going to walk through the actual different types. I'm going to explain them. So first off is good old search campaigns. Search campaigns have been around since the early 2000s, maybe even a little earlier than that. But essentially, since the founding of Google and its advertising platform, search has been on the list in terms of campaign types. Now, search campaigns are the most common campaigns I think most people know about. Maybe banner ads, you might know them over search campaigns. But essentially, all a search campaign ad is if we come here to, I typed in running shoes. As you can see here, premium footwear, best in class. This is a search ad, and this is generated from a search campaign. And essentially, whenever someone types in a certain keyword like running shoes Canada or running shoe footwear for sale, this is the ad that will appear, and people can target it through a search campaign. And generally, we find the absolute best results with search campaigns. We find that they outperform almost any other type of campaigns when it comes to generating leads for service-based businesses, and we absolutely love them and we recommend them to most people. That being said, the next campaign is Performance Max, and I'm going to combine this with Local Campaign because Google is going to be combining these two in August this year of 2022. So I'm just going to combine the two and save us some time. Essentially, what a Performance Max campaign is Google's attempt to throw everything at the wall and just see if something sticks. And it runs search, it runs display, it runs, shopping. It runs literally everything that it can, and it tries to be successful somewhere. And this is really good for people who aren't that aware of Google Ads and they're not that used to using it. This is probably the best way to get into Google Ads. That or maybe a smart campaign, depends on how good you are with computers. And it's really good if you don't know what you're doing. Performance Max, it allows you a little bit more control than a generic smart campaign. You can customize content, you can customize a lot of stuff that you can't in a smart campaign. But that being said, they generally don't perform better than search or display campaigns. This is because Google is trying to find stuff that works, and that takes time, and it's going to burn a little bit of money for its AI to figure out like, okay, this is working over this, as opposed to if you go directly into a search campaign, you can target very specific keywords that are more than likely going to work. As opposed to Performance Max, where Google's AI has to figure that out and it has to do it across multiple advertising platforms like search, display, shopping. And yeah, so Performance Max can be a very good campaign, but take it with a grain of salt. If you're serious about running Google Ads, you should probably be running search, display, something like that. The next one is display campaigns. Now, display campaigns are probably the most common other than search campaigns. And if you've ever seen a banner ad on the side of the screen, like you can kind of see here, that is a display campaign ad. Now, you can see it in banner ads. You can see it prior to YouTube videos. You can see it generally anywhere you can put a image or a little slideshow, you could probably run an ad through a display campaign. And now these are absolutely fantastic for one, remarketing for search campaigns, and two, if you have an e-commerce site and you really can narrow down on your audience targeting, this could also be a very good way of generating customers for you. That being said, if you don't know what you're doing with a display campaign, you can burn a lot of money really quickly. So you have to be very careful with what you're doing, and you also need to be able to A/B test your ads and know which ones are performing better than other ads. It's not as simple in a display campaign to A/B test ads when you compare it to a normal search ad. You need to know what you're doing inside Google Ads for this to work well. The next one is shopping campaign. So a shopping campaign is essentially what it sounds like. People looking to buy right then and there. This is generally for e-commerce products. So if you're selling, like in this example, running shoes, this is a shopping ad. And sometimes they can appear with more, sometimes they can appear up here above the first search ad. And essentially all it does is it highlights a product and shows you a price, shows you reviews, and a brief description of it. You can click on this and you're transported to the actual website. And it's a good way to get people to your e-commerce store or your website. And it's really, really good for e-commerce platforms. And I really like using them if you're going to do e-commerce. I don't particularly do e-commerce much, so I stay away from them. But if you're in e-commerce, this is generally a go-to campaign for most people. The next one is video ads. So if you've ever heard of YouTube and all of the wonderful ads that cut mid roll, this is the campaign responsible for all those annoying ads. Now, video ads can be absolutely amazing for generating new business. They can sometimes be a little expensive to run just because it is like a 30-second video most of the time, and it does cost a bit more money than most campaigns. But that being said, if you have a good video, you have good content, and it really resonates with your customer, you can see an amazing return very, very quickly inside of a video campaign. But that being said, you need to know what video you're using. You need to A/B test this stuff. And if you don't have the ability to constantly produce either new content or just content that you can A/B test and make sure it's always being optimized, this is probably not the campaign for you, because if you don't have a high converting video, you're going to lose a lot of money very quickly with a YouTube campaign or a video campaign. So make sure you have all the necessary content to run effective video campaigns before you start. If you don't have it, I would say stay away from video campaigns in general. The next one is the app campaign. So Google actually gives you the ability to promote apps. So if you have a mobile application on, either Android or iPhone or whatever it is, you can promote your app here. And this is great for apps that are, trying to take off, trying to get some reviews, trying to get some people using the app. It's absolutely fantastic. But that being said, you need a decent description. You need to test these ads and make sure you're actually seeing a return with your ad, because you can spend a lot of money, get a whole bunch of downloads, and just see no real result. You need to make sure you have a backend where you're seeing sales or conversions or something to make sure you're seeing those results. If you don't, you're going to burn a lot of money and waste it all on an app that doesn't do anything. The next one is the Smart Campaign. The Smart Campaign is the simplest campaign in Google Ads, in my opinion. Anyone could really set one up. It takes, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes, not even to set one up. And it's very good at doing what the Performance Max campaign does, which is just a spray and pray method. Throw everything at the wall, see what sticks. And it's generally for people who don't know their way around Google Ads. Is this a good way to start in Google Ads? Yeah, probably, if you don't know what you're doing. But that being said, the Smart Campaign is very, very limited in what you can do inside of it. And if you have any knowledge of Google Ads, I would recommend going and not using the Smart Campaign, just because it is so limited and the results aren't great when you compare them to a search campaign, display campaign, or even shopping campaign. You'll see much better results with a different campaign. But that being said, a Smart Campaign is probably the easiest way to start off in Google Ads. The next one is not local, because I skip local. I combine that with Performance Max, but they're essentially the same thing. Google's going to be combining them soon. But the next one is Discovery Campaign. So a Discovery Campaign is essentially getting your brand out there. Google's going to target essentially audiences in this campaign, and they're going to try and find good audiences for you, target them on Gmail, YouTube, and any other place they can put your ad to essentially be discovered by people. And it's really trying to get brand awareness. That's generally the goals of these campaigns, trying to get your message out there to as many people as possible for as low as cost as possible. It may not be actual conversions. It's probably more along the lines of how many clicks, how many views can we get, as opposed to actual conversions with this campaign. So discovery is a campaign I don't normally use. If you're running a brand awareness campaign, maybe you're launching a new product or something like that, it could be used. But that being said, I generally stay away just from discovery, because I generally like seeing results. I like seeing conversions. I like seeing leads, sales, whatever it is, quickly inside the account. I don't like to, just hope and pray that someone sees it and goes, oh, yeah, that's, I saw your ad and maybe I might click on it, maybe I don't. With like search, display, shopping, you're going to get results. Discovery, like it's like, yeah, it could work well and you could get lots of leads, but it's not the goal of the campaign, and generally I stay away from them, and I recommend most people do as well. And again, this is Google's attempt to control a lot of the things, where in display campaigns you generally have more control over your actual campaign than you do in a discovery campaign. But that being said, those are the different types of campaigns inside Google Ads. I generally recommend going with search or display for most companies. You could also add in shopping, video, or app if those are applicable to you. I really like video campaigns and display campaigns for remarketing to, double back on the search campaign and really see some good results for people who have already left your website, and then you can remarket to them. That's generally how we work with our campaigns. But most of these campaigns are really good. I generally would stay away from Smart Campaigns and Performance Max campaigns just because they're so simple, and Google takes a lot of the control away from you, and you're not going to see as good as results as you would in a search or display campaign. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about, campaign types or anything regarding Google Ads, leave them down in the comment section down below. I'd be happy to answer them. Other than that, you guys have a wonderful day and take care.